vloggers, it's Alex. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a long overdue video. I cannot believe I haven't done a video on this yet, but I'm going to go over with you guys picmonkey.com. I use picmonkey.com all of the time to create my YouTube thumbnails as well as some Instagram posts. So in this video, I'm going to just do a basic overview of picmonkey.com, show you all the different tabs and everything on picmonkey.com, and just kind of go over the basics with you. Now, I believe I do have two tutorials where I show you how I created a YouTube thumbnail and something for Instagram, so I will link those down below for you guys. Now, if you guys want me to recreate one of my YouTube thumbnails or anything that I've done on Instagram, please let me know down in the comments. I'll be happy to do a tutorial on that. Since today's just kind of going the basics and go over the overview, I can do something more in depth for you guys. Just let me know what you want to see. Alright, if you guys want to learn more about picmonkey.com, then just keep on watching. The first thing that you want to do is go on to picmonkey.com and you're going to create an account. So you just click right here. Now, I already have an account, so I'm already set up, but you're just going to want to make sure that you go through the steps on creating an account. And if you want some of the upgrades, you're definitely going to want to get a Royal membership. It's only $33 a year, and I would highly recommend it. It's very worth it. Maybe not if you're just starting out with YouTube, but if you're someone who's been doing YouTube for a couple months at least, then definitely get the upgrade. Okay, so once you're set up, you have this home page right here, and you have 4 different buttons to choose from. You have the Edit button, Touch Up button, Design button, and Collage. Now, out of all 4 of these buttons, Touch Up and Collage I barely ever use. Like, it's very rare. Touch Up I don't think I've ever even used. But the ones that I use the most are Edit and Design. If I already have a photo at the right size, then I just edit the photo. If I need to create a thumbnail or something of a specific size, then I design it. So first, let's go to edit. So I would need to pick out a photo to edit. So let's just pick Beauty Addict Next Door icon. Okay, so here is my photo. Pops right up. So we have the editor. It says open, so you can open up another image from your computer or anywhere else. Then you can save, share, and add to hub, which I have not used yet. Now here is the picture. What you can do is you can adjust the zoom with this. You do full screen. This can undo things that you do or go back to what you've done. Combine all elements. I never use this. I use the undo button a lot or the zoom. And then over here, you guys have a bunch of different icons to choose from. This one is basic edits. This one is effects. This one is touch up, text, overlays, frames, textures, and themes. Now, with my experience using picmonkey.com, I have used all of these buttons. All of them have been so incredibly helpful. The first one is just kind of your basics. Always do the resize. For instance, this photo is 612 by 612. It's Instagram sized. So whenever I need to change the size, especially when I go to design something, I just go here. Then you can sharpen the image, which I don't want to do. You do different colors. You can adjust saturation. You can adjust the temperature, exposure, you can make it brighter. Do some highlighting, shadows, contrast. Ooh. Cancel. You can rotate the photo, so you can do that. Whoop. But you could also flip it like that. And then if there's something not straight, you can also straighten it too. So I like to use this whenever I have maybe an eye look I'm trying to show off and I realize that the way my head was tilted, it doesn't look exactly straight, so then I just straighten it like this. Canvas color. That just changes the whole canvas. You can make it transparent. This is especially helpful if you need to do something that's like a PNG. You just need to maybe insert a picture into your video on YouTube. So whenever you're editing in iMovie or Final Cut Pro, you can just insert one of these. Then, of course, the crop, so you can crop stuff down. Then we're going to go to the effects button. So you just have a plethora of choices. to choose from. So I'm just going to click on some options for you guys. Now, ones that have this little crown here, those are for royalty members. So anyone who pays that $33 a year will be able to use this particular effect. So if you see this anywhere on any of the other buttons, that is what that's for. That means you can't use it unless you pay that $33 a month, or $33 a year, I'm sorry. But so many different things. I love using the edges ones. I particularly use the frost because then you can pick whatever color that you want. It's a really fun button. Then you can do your standard black and white. Tons of different options. Next one that I use a lot is draw, because this is what I use to highlight text, and I will show you guys that in a bit. But as you can see here, that is not as harsh. Well, I usually go less harsh as this is. It's a little bit softer. And then you just have some other options here. Now we're going to go to the touch-up icon. So I only use this sometimes. I'll use maybe the airbrush a little bit or the wrinkle remover. It really just depends. If I'm using my Canon T5i, these are good enough. If not, if I use my A5100, I use Facetune because this is not like that good either. And then maybe sometimes I use the teeth whitening. But I really don't use the other ones that much, but they're definitely worth trying. Then we go to text, and this is always used. Whenever I want to do an Instagram post like this, I'll do Emily's Candy, add text, and do @Beauty Addict Next Door. Change it to some fun pink color, and then fade it. Twist it and like place it here or something like that. This is messy, but just to give you an idea. For an Instagram post or whenever I'm doing thumbnails, you just pick whatever text works best for you. Like I said before, the ones with the crowns, those are for only royal members who pay the $33 a year. The next button is overlays. So they came up with a bunch of new overlays which are themed, which is pretty cool. Backyard cookout, great outdoors, stuff like that. So that's pretty fun. But I haven't really used those that much. I use a lot of the same ones. I usually go for a geometric to do like lines if I want to break up pictures. So you just do a line there. You can change the color. You can make it fade. Then hearts sometimes. You have comic bubbles, which can be quite useful with YouTube. Lips, I like to use those, especially because I do makeup stuff. So if I have like a pair of lips in like my photos, it's kind of fun. I use these Ordinary Beasts a lot, and I will just make them pink. And that is what I use for whenever I'm showing that my channel is cruelty-free. I like to use these animals and just make them have outlined and make them outlined in pink, and that's just kind of like my thing for being cruelty-free. In the past too, I've used like fire, which is really good if you're trying to do like a fiery look or something themed or Halloween or something like that. Postal, paper scraps, which can be fun. I use those more for Beauty Vlogger 101. Tape, we used that for Beauty Vlogger 101 before. You have corners, garnishes, all different kinds of stuff, butterflies. It really just depends on what kind of channel that you have. Daisies, I've used those a bunch before. So you have so many options, but I definitely think the one that you'll probably end up using the most is probably like the geometric shapes. Now we're going to go to frames, which I usually just use Simple Edge, and I just change the outer color and the inner color to the exact same color, and then I adjust the thickness. I have used drop shadow in the past, but it's really not that common. You have other options too, like a rounded corner, museum mat, kind of like a frame, different kind of stuff like this. Like this would be good for like a Halloween type of theme. Scissors, but most commonly I use Simple Edge. Then right here we have textures. I used to use this a ton, but I don't use it that often anymore. I use this for like backgrounds and stuff. It makes it a little bit more fun. But yeah, I haven't really used them that much. And you have like space options.
metal. I usually do this for the background, and then I put like a photo of me on top or something, just so I'm not completely covered up. But you have a ton of different options here. But this is what I use more at the beginning of my career, and then I kind of stopped using them. Then the last icon right here are themes. I love these, especially great for Halloween. Oh my gosh, I cannot even tell you. Like, see, got some gashes. They've upgraded. Look at that. Blood. Let's see, what else? All themes. Day of the Dead. So you can do skull stuff. Skull teeth. Witches. See, school stuff is good too, because then you got like a yearbook theme. So in this part, they'll show you different effects, overlays, different types of text, textures and frames that are more for that theme. So it kind of puts it all in one area, so you don't have to be going back and forth so much between the buttons. You have winter ones, a snowfall, frost. You have like little guys that you can put on here. So many different options. Let me just show you a couple more. Day of the Dead, Demons, Trick or Treat, Comic Heroes, Santa Land, Celebrate. And I'm sure they're going to be coming out with more. Alright, so those are all of the buttons. The only other thing to point out is over here you have like your little profile. You can go to your account and log out. And then right here is just where you would choose your image setting. I just keep mine on the recommended one, which is Bubbles. But you can go to Jack or King Kong. I've never done that. I just keep it on Bubbles. Alright, so I showed you guys the edit button, but I want to jump into touch up just to show you. So you just pick a picture like you would with edit, and then it just takes you right to touch up. Really, it's not really any different than doing the edit button. It just takes you right to touch up as opposed to basic edits. Then the next button is design. So this one takes you right to the canvas color. So you can do transparent, but I don't need to do that. I'll just do cancel. And typically here I just resize it. So let's say I wanted to do Instagram, go to resize it. Then what I do is I pull a picture in. So let's see. Expand it. All right, so now it's Instagram size and you can just save it like that. Then we have this collage button, which this takes you to a completely different center than it does all three other tabs takes you to. It's completely different. So we have images, layouts, swatches, and background. So here is kind of where you can pick how you want the collage to work. So you have all these different options about how many pictures you can include, what order, square, rectangular, whatever the case may be. And I really don't use this that often. I just haven't found it really that helpful. I found other apps work better, especially on your phone if you're trying to make something Instagram size. But it is something fun to play around with. And here's where you can add images. And then you can just drag them in. And then right here, you can kind of edit the line, so you can make it really thick, corner rounding, different colors for the outline, transparent, whatever you want. And those are the basics of picmonkey.com.
That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know down in the comments if you guys found this helpful. Give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button below. Like this video if you've liked it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!